Hey, what's up everyone? It is Thais here. So today we will be talking about moisturizing your natural hair, how to moisturize your hair, and how to retain moisture in your natural 4C hair. So I will be going over the benefits of moisturizing, what methods to use to moisturize, also showing examples of products you can use to moisturize your hair, and also how often to moisturize. Okay, so let's go over the benefits of moisturizing your natural hair. So moisturizing your hair is a very important part of your natural hair journey because this method allows your hair to stay moist and hydrated so that it doesn't break as much. So if your hair is dehydrated, then your hair will break more and then you won't retain as much length, or your hair won't get longer over time. You will find that your length is stagnant, or you will find that you are losing length because your hair is too dry. So how often you moisturize your hair will depend on your hair type, your hair porosity, and your hair density, and also your lifestyle and your regimen. So if you wash your hair once a week, for example, then you can get away with moisturizing your hair probably once in between your wash day. If you wash your hair every 2 weeks, then you will probably need to moisturize your hair a bit more. But a great frequency of moisturizing your hair is definitely once in between your wash day, because once you lock in that moisture, putting products on top of your hair after moisturizing and sealing won't really work because your hair is coated with oil and the moisture isn't able to penetrate that oil barrier. So you just put in products on top of oil and it doesn't work that way. You have to moisturize first and then you apply your oil. So there are different methods of moisturizing your hair. We have the LOC method and you have the LCO method. And you also have the regular moisturize and seal method. So with the LCO method and the LOC method, the L represents liquid, the C represents cream, and the O represents oil. So you either use it in the LCO form or the LOC form. Personally, I prefer the LCO form because I love to seal my hair as the last step, being that water cannot really penetrate an oil barrier. So that's my personal preference, but I would definitely show you demonstrations of both. So what you use to moisturize your hair will also depend on your hair porosity. So for the liquid part of your LCO and LOC method, you can use plain water, you can use aloe juice, rose water, and any other liquid. You can even use a liquid-based leave-in conditioner like this one right here. So it all depends on you. So for the C method, which is the cream, so this is also dependent on your hair type. So for high porosity, you would definitely need something more thicker, and 4C hair types, because our hair types is more drier, you will need something more thicker. So the key for your cream is to make sure that the first ingredient is water. So a great cream, aka a moisturizer, has water, emollients, and humectants in there. So you want to use something that is going to stick to your hair. Water is not enough to moisturize your hair on its own, because just as easily as you put water in your hair, it's just as easily as it leaves the hair. So make sure that you are using an actual moisturizer. So as I mentioned, for the cream, you can use a moisture butter. I'm going to show you different examples of moisture butters. So this is how a moisture butter looks. This is how a moisture butter looks. It's really thick in texture. Moisture butter is a whip of butters, oils, and different humectants and other emollients, but water is the first ingredient. So it's very thick in texture, but it is definitely cream based and water based. So there are different types. You have moisture butters like these ones right here. This is a cheaper alternative, the Elastic QP mango butter. Water is the first ingredient. So leave-in conditioners are also great moisturizers, such as these ones. Brand doesn't matter, but make sure that it is protein free. That is key. When you moisturize your hair, you want to be adding moisture, not adding strength. The key is to hydrate your hair, not really strengthen it. So keep that in mind. So moisturizers also come in the form of a hair milk. So you can see it in a bottle like this. For low porosity hair, I would definitely recommend that you stick to a light hair milk that comes in a bottle. And for high porosity hair, I would recommend that you stick to a moisture butter, something that is thicker. It comes in a jar. That is key to keep in mind. So for the O part of the LCO, the O stands for oil, and it is also known as a sealant. So after you add moisture to your hair, you want to slow down the evaporation of that moisture from your hair. So this will allow your hair to stay moisturized much more longer versus if you don't use one. So there are different types of sealants. You can use the oil, you can use a butter such as shea butter, mango butter, paprika butter. You can use an oil such as olive oil, coconut oil, argan oil. There's so many sealants out there. So these are examples of a sealant. So these are oil mixtures. This is great as a sealant. I'm just showing you examples. And you also have a whip butter. So this is an example of a whip butter. So whip butters doesn't contain any water in them. It's just straight oils and butters. They are known as sealants. So that is the O part of the LCO. So you start by spraying the section of hair, and you don't have to get it super wet. Just a little bit. The key is not to get your hair drenched in water. It's just to spritz it really, really lightly with water. So now that your hair is wet, now you can manipulate it better. So you section off a little piece. So always moisturize your hair in sections so that you make sure every part of your hair is receiving moisture. So for today's moisturizer, I will be using a leave-in cream. So this is the African Prime Moisture Miracle. I like this leave-in cream. So you just take a little bit on your finger, not too much. You're just moisturizing your hair. So you don't want to use too much product. And you just put it on your hair. Make sure that you get the ends in there. You can do this. This helps you to get the ends. So after you apply the cream part of this method, it is time to seal it in. So this is the O part. It is known as oil. So you just take a little bit of oil, not too much, just 2 drops, and you can see it's barely any oil on my hand. You don't want your hair to be too greasy. You apply it from the ends to the roots, and you split that hair apart and apply it. So after moisturizing your hair, you can choose to finger detangle. Your hair should be nice and manageable now. And then you can go ahead and detangle with a wide tooth comb, starting from the ends and going to the roots. I like to use a wide tooth comb on my dry hair. I save my detangling brush for my wash day. And this is key. After moisturizing that section, you want to clump your hair together. So this can be in the form of a braid, a twist, or a bantu knot. So when you clump your hair after moisturizing it, you slow down the evaporation because there's less airflow in between the strands. So your hair stays moisturized longer. Okay, so the LCO side is finished. So now this side, I will be testing out the LOC method, as well as showing you guys a demo of how to actually do the LOC method known as the LOC method. So we're going to be adding water. This is the liquid, and then the oil. I really don't know why people do this method. It seems so backwards, putting oil before a moisturizer. And then lastly, we're going to be doing the cream. So I will let my bantu knots sit overnight for at least 24 hours, and then I will come back and see which side is more moisturized. Okay, so this side feels nice and moisturized. This is the LCO method side. So this will be my first impressions of the LOC method on this side. Okay. Wow, it's really, really soft. I'm shocked. This is insane. I was not expecting this at all, but the LOC method side feels more moisturized than the LCO side, the one I've been doing all this time. Wow. Both sides are moisturized. The LCO method do work, but I feel like the LOC method give my hair a little bit more moisture than the LCO. That is really, really shocking. I'm shocked. I wasn't expecting that at all. But yeah, that was my video on the LOC method in comparison to the LCO method. Let me know which method do you prefer to use, and definitely experiment with both methods and see which one works for your hair type before you commit to either one of them. But both of them are great as long as you are adding moisture and some sort of sealant, which is an emollient to your hair, then it will definitely be good for your hair in the long run. But yeah, that is the end of my video. Thank you all so much for watching. Definitely give this video a rating and subscribe for weekly natural hair care and self-care videos. Bye bye.